every day I would just, instead of listening to things that I liked, I used the Apple Inspiring Women section, and I listened to one of those every day for a few months. I started in 2018, and I did it basically until the end. And then I kind of broke down and stopped. What it did is kind of change my attitude towards podcasts. I don't like podcasts anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, it made me a lot more aware of like podcasts are like a thing to waste time. They're just a thing to make your hour go away. You're just sort of like stuck in traffic or whatever, and you just want to kind of fall asleep, but you can't. So you do the next best thing. And yeah, I think what I think is important about it is that there's a kind of an element, I think, of pain. Always you do anything, whenever you like read or try to like watch a movie, even if it's something you like really enjoy, there's like an element of like, I think Gadamer called it like the Anstoß, like this conflict where you first encounter something that's new, like you have to encounter a new situation or a new kind of setting, new environment. And it kind of breaks you. It kind of slowly makes you kind of be aware of this other thing. And again, that's like present even if you listen to something you like or watch something you like, read something you like. But it's very present if you do something you don't like or like you have to do for work or for, kind of this weird Xbox challenge that I've set up. So yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, that's why I kind of began doing it. And that's what like I kind of became very aware of. It's just there's this pain and this constant conflict that exists.
This makes me feel like very powerful as a podcast.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Destroying people's lives.
Yeah,
that's right. I think there's like, I don't know if I like made up this, but like, or maybe it is in Gadamer, but there is a kind of I think, experience or like this sort of clearly kind of focused experience or representation of something that you sort of intentionally like kind of are aware of is like a brick. It's like a rock kind of, and you are as a subject, as a kind of receptive, I don't know, understanding, a faculty of understanding. You're like a pane of glass or like a window pane. And the brick kind of just hits you and breaks you. And it's kind of like, I think the importance of the fact that it's a brick is that it's sort of like slowly passes through you. Like it's not just like a momentary thing, but it's like it's like slowly for an hour, it just sort of breaks you down. And then you sort of reconstitute yourself afterwards. But again, like especially in late Gadamer or like Heidegger, that kind of thing, it's always like, it's always, you're supposed to sort of align yourself towards a kind of a receptivity of a future, horizon or whatever. It's always like very it's a kind of an element of mindfulness. But for me, there's just kind of pain. It's just sort of painful every time. And there's no lesson at the end. There's no like, I didn't enter this new hermeneutic horizon. I just suffered. There's just suffering.
Okay.
Which also like hermeneutically suffering is like a pathway back to sort of like you're meant to sort of suffer so like you become aware of your own mortality or finitude, and then you come back to kind of enlightenment or whatever. But it does
like there's a little bit of like a self-development, like you become something better or or at least different sort of a thing.
That's kind of like that's more applies to things like gym. Right, it's more applies to things like where you actually sort of exercise something and become a better man. I think like in these sorts of things, it's just sort of a sink of time, and you just feel that you are aware of your finitude in the sense that you are dying. It's an hour of your life in your like intellectual prime or whatever, and then when you're still like kind of aware of things, and it's just gone, and it's gone, and it kind of left in its wake. It's just a sort of endless, pain.
This is such good advertisement for the podcast.
Use me, like iTunes should hire me, or like, oh, do you want to offer for an hour? But no, but then again, like I think that's also like the awareness of pain sort of like goes away, and then you feel much better afterwards. You sort of like, oh, okay, I don't have to do this again for a day or whatever. You just have to sort of live with it. After that, it becomes better, I think. And that's the thing. That's the sort of, you become a better person by not experiencing or something. I don't know. The lesson part I haven't got. Maybe I'm not. Like,
yeah.
I haven't got the spiritual XP points, but the pain part I got a lot.
I'm imagining the podcast you were listening to interspliced with you talking about this now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like you're listening to something called, like, I don't know, Glisten or something, or like, you know,